Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about a new game called Marvel's Midnight Suns. Some of you guys might have seen this if you were watching the sort of virtual Gamescom. Everything's online this year, of course, so things were a little different, but during that, last week, August 25th in fact, they dropped a trailer for this brand new game called Marvel's Midnight Suns. Looks a little bit different. We'll be talking about the gameplay in this video. It is, for any of you guys out there that kind of play those sort of XCOM style games, this might actually be interesting to you, and I'll touch on that in just a moment. But currently, the target sort of release date for this is March next year, March 2022. I'm going to say right now, next year, the beginning of next year, is looking hella busy. I feel like I'm going to need a holiday just to play games. But anyway, this is scheduled to be released on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Steam, Epic. Basically, it's coming to all platforms, unless you're on Mac, in which case I apologize. That being said, it's being developed by HyperX Games, which of course makes sense given the sort of XCOM vibe. They're of course a seasoned developer known for games like Civilization and XCOM. It's loosely based on the Midnight Suns. This is S-O-N-S, not S-U-N-S, comic series, and that's going to feature a sort of darker storyline than most Marvel games, but it will also feature characters from X-Men, Avengers, and Runaways. My boy Wolverine is in the trailer, which I'm always happy to see. You've then got Lilith, who's actually been revived by Hydra and actually features as the game's main antagonist. You'll then play as the Hunter, who is actually a new character created specifically to fit into the Marvel lore, but they are customizable by the player. You'll be able to customize your appearance as well as select your powers from over 40 different abilities, which does sound really, really cool. I always enjoy customization stuff when it comes to sort of creating your characters, even though half the time they never give you any good bits. That being said, when you actually take a look at the gameplay, there was some extended gameplay that IGN had a chance to share, and while it does, of course, feature a lot of the sort of familiar XCOM style mechanics, it also has deck building. You've got deck building, you have gear progression, you have costume unlocks, and combat itself seems to work around a squad of 3. You have unique abilities for each of the heroes. We've currently seen people fall within the typical sort of archetypes you associate with these games, things like DPS and tanks, those sort of style moves. You've even got team up moves, which again, you know, it's a given. These kind of games, it would be a crime not to have some sort of cool superhero team up moves. However, it's worth noting, unlike games like XCOM or Mario Rabbids, this game is not grid or cover based. However, maps do feature interactable elements with a sort of strong focus on placement and ad management. So as you sort of see the gameplay, you do of course have that tactical element, you do of course have the positioning, all of that stuff is important, but you then factor in the layer on top, which is the deck building stuff, and then suddenly you have this interesting new dynamic. Now, outside of that, of course, when you're, not doing your missions, you have the Abbey, which acts as sort of like a hub. It's kind of like a more spooky looking Avengers Tower with cutscenes and combat rewards. You also have another layer on top, which is sort of a social management element, similar to, say, Persona and Fire Emblem outside of the battle to boost abilities within battles. So basically, there's quite a lot of different elements to it. Much like, again, if you've played XCOM games, you'll know that in between missions, there are things to do back at base to sort of bolster your team. So right now, it definitely looks interesting. Obviously, we haven't seen a great deal at the moment, and with these kind of games, until you actually get a chance to go hands-on, you never truly know like how it feels to play. But I'm someone that really likes the Marvel Universe regardless, so it's definitely, for that reason, something to check out. And of course, if you do like those strategy games, I will say myself, I don't necessarily play too many XCOM style games, but combining that genre with the Marvel Universe is definitely something that is at least worth paying attention to. So as and when we find out more about the game, as and when we learn more about gameplay, about mechanics, stuff like that, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. But for the time being, that is a quick summary, just in case you guys didn't catch it last week on Marvel's Midnight Suns. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and keep it locked for plenty more. If you want to catch more from us at HyperX Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below. And of course, you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.